在讨论那个刺青的大小。Okay, I want to shrink this. This is my final choice for my shoulder. 哎，我要秀一下 ，this 他画的，然后我想要刺在我的肩膀上，就是这样子。但是可能要小一点，所以我现在要跟Beatrice， 她是那个Nicholas 的，她是刺青师的女朋友。Do you speak Chinese？真的假的？
对，可以。
原来可以哦。我这边我会有一个问题，我只要看到外国人就会自动调成英文模式，但其实很多外国人都会讲中文。对不起，我真是失礼。OK，I'm too rude。Alright， 这个图我想好，我们要试试看，因为我发现我跟外国人讲话都会觉得很不自在，我很怕他们听不懂我的中文，因为我讲话很快。I talk fast。好，我们来试一下。好，我想要把它用小一点点，可能变成5公分。可以吗？可以说吗？
就是你想要的大小都可以。
那5公分这样子，差不多我可能。Would that be too small? 我讲错了。It might be a little small, but I think it should be like a little shorter, cause I want it to be like seen like over here. So maybe 6 or. Yeah,
Can I measure your shoulder?
Please do. Please do anything to my shoulder.
Okay. 你给我看你要从哪里开始，然后哪里结束。
I think you should end like right here at this point, the bone, right.
然后到这边吗？
What do you think? Do you think it's big enough? Because I want it to be like not too small. But not too big. Sorry, I'm not. 你觉得怎么样？
你真的想要5公分的话，我们可以做，但是我觉得有点小，因为你看从这边到这边已经算7公分，我觉得这样子还可以。
本来是8，对不对？
对，本来是8，看8，
还是变成7？
还是我们可以把这个尾巴短一点。
OK。
不然这个就是这个
right。
你有在忙吗？
我在忙。
我先差不多约你开场吧。
谢谢，拜拜。What would you suggest to make it shorter?
I would just do it a little bit shorter here.
但是我觉得它长长的比较好看 ，because it's like I don't know, a little sexy. I don't know. I'm thinking the line.
I think.
Or maybe we could ask him to shrink it.
I think you need to.
Yeah, I think this overall might need to shrink like 5%. Like make it smaller because this ball here is too big. So I'm thinking like if this entire thing is shrinked like maybe 5%, maybe it will be smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. So can I ask him to like shrink it later and we'll check the size?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, we can do the stencil on this size and a smaller size.
Yeah, we'll see because
and
you put the sticker.
Yeah, you can see how it will be like on the mirror.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, so let's have him do that later and then we'll see how it goes. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Hi. 漂亮的 Beatrice 是Brazil. Brazil. You're also vegan.
Yes, I'm vegan.
What is your life like as a vegan Brazilian?
As a vegan Brazilian, I feel that I eat a lot of grains and a lot of salad.
Like rice?
Rice, quinoa, also a lot of lentils and chickpeas. We do a lot of pasta salads in Brazil.
Yeah, but like one thing we're usually curious is that Brazilian seems to be like a meat population. Like people love eating meat a lot. It's like in my impression. So is it real?
This is one of the reasons why I became vegan. It's because like in Brazil we have this culture and we are one of the top producers of meat in the world. So we sell meat to all the countries. And we have a very big problem with people that are deforesting Amazon rainforest to raise cattle, to then kill them and sell their meat.
Right, you guys have the rainforest.
Yes, so
它就是一个，我觉得这个要 遇到本人才会知道，就是你可能会常常在新闻报道里面听到那个亚马逊雨林，这位小姐的国家就是有亚马逊雨林的地方，我觉得很厉害，因为对我们 like for Asians it's kind of far.
Yeah.
You know, like we listen to, we're like, oh, like we know the rainforest. They're like, oh, we know the deforestation, but we don't really feel that like in our lives, like really far away. So you are kind of affected by it.
Yes, it's something that since we are young, we hear about it at school, and since I was little, I didn't understand.
What do you hear about school? What do you mean?
Yeah, because in school we study about the Amazon rainforest, and we study the impact of the Amazon rainforest in the world, and also the impact of relying on our agricultural business, right? So
that's also in like the education system. Like when you
Yes.
study, you learn.
yeah.
But did you learn that the like the meat industry is the factor of the deforestation?
Yes,
Really?
we
It's
learn.
taught that?
Yes, when we're really young, we don't go too deep into it. But then, like once we are in junior high school, then we actually need to read the bibliography. You know, like some articles
Right.
about it, and we learn about it. So by this time, I couldn't understand how is that possible that we know what the problem is and no one is acting. So then I decided to become vegan and be an activist for my country. I feel that's the most
What do you
powerful
mean you
way.
have to read like biblical like content? Is it?
It's not biblical, it's bibliography. It means like peer-reviewed journals, and like in our school books, they have mentions about the deforestation in Amazon and climate change, global warming, all of that. So we need to read these scientific pieces and really understand the impact of our agricultural industries
So that's in the
Brazil.
textbook?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
really good.
That's
'Cause
really
I think
good.
a lot
We
of
discuss.
right in Taiwan, a lot of I think the impact of the meat industry is often ignored or kind of like hidden. So I think most of the Taiwanese growing up without even knowing like what the meat industry looks like or what the slaughterhouse looks like. So people are really unfamiliar with how the meat is made. So if you have that education in your like school life,
Yes.
that will be. I think that will make more students like really
To be
think about it,
interested.
right, and learn the fact. I think giving the fact is really important. Like because if you tell people the real situation, people can judge by their own thinking. But if you just don't tell them what really is happening, then people cannot make the right decision. So I think that's the struggle we have in Taiwan. Like most people are unaware of everything about the meat industry. So that's why I'm like so shocked
Yeah,
when you say
that was actually one of my biggest culture shocks here, because like in Brazil, if you tell someone that you're a vegetarian or vegan, they will usually relate it to
Oh, right, they
protecting the
know.
animals or protecting the environment.
Right.
So they know that it's something related with animals or environment. But here in Taiwan, most of the people that eat vegetarian is related to religion, and they not necessarily are, you know, taking steps in their lives, like wearing clothes that are not made from animals,
Right.
or, you know, not purchasing from like non-vegan brands and this kind of thing. So I think when I started going to vegetarian events here and vegetarian buffets, I really didn't understand this part of the culture.
that's very like contradicting, I think, for me as well, because I grew up most of the time in Taiwan, but my major and like my study is mostly about like Western culture. So like for me, caring about these like the world issues with regard to like animals and environment is quite normal. Like it's like because the world is all talking about it. So if you are watching news or if you know what people are doing, you know that okay, like the world now is paying attention on like the meat industry or like cutting down meat. But that's like a total different story in Taiwan. I mean, like locally, people are. I think maybe it's the language barrier. I don't know.
I think because the vegetarian like lifestyle here is more connected to religion, I feel that a lot of people here don't really understand what vegan really
No,
means.
they don't.
So every time I go out, I need to specifically say what I want to eat, what I cannot eat, and some people will still try to give me like
Right.
some
Eggs,
vegetable,
right. They just give you
vegetable like
the-
stir fried in pork broth or something. So I feel that people are starting to wake up to this notion now, and a lot of the literature is being translated also to Chinese,
Right.
and
They have
this
a
is
drink.
like a global
I just
problem.
want a drink.
It's a global issue, and people are becoming more aware of that. I'm not saying that in Brazil it's perfect, because we still keep, being among the top deforestation
Right.
regions in the world, especially with our last president, that like the
He was
Amazon
not-
rainforest had.
He was not doing a good job.
No, he was an awful president,
Making money and-
very
Corrupt.
corrupt and very greedy. He wanted to
Make money.
make money from the forest. So that's why in the past years the levels of deforestation in Brazil have risen a lot. And now we have a new government, but we don't see any, any sudden change or something that signifies that things will become better in the near future. So even though we learn about this at school, we still discuss about it. I think that Brazil, Taiwan, and the whole world still has a long way to go, and I think they should run fast
I
in
know.
this way.
The problem is that they're
We
not
don't
doing
have
it
much
fast
time.
enough. Right.
Yes.
So yeah, that's very helpful for a lot of. OK， 刚刚那个小姐姐，巴西小姐姐，其实讲了很多，就是关于巴西的内部的问题，还有状态，基本上就是全球的状况。所以这也是一个就是 Beatrice 变成 vegan 的原因，她希望自己成为那个解决方法的人之一，因为巴西实在是一个很大的肉品出产国家，然后这也是一个她自己有感觉到的问题。所以呢 ，anyway， 我就是因为认识了刺青师，然后才认识了女友，然后他们两个人都是 vegan， 然后为了环境跟动物 ，Are you like for the animals more or for the environment more?
For
Which
both.
kind of?
For both.
There's no like a higher.
When I started it, it was more for the environment, and now, honestly, I cannot choose. Both
Right.
of them are equally important.
Right. 就是在国际上，大部分的 vegan 嘛，就像我们这种不吃任何动物，然后也不用任何动物成分的人，大部分的原因就是可能是健康，可能是环境，然后可能是动物。我自己是比较动物，然后 Beatrice 说他比较一开始是因为环境，但是现在的话就是因为其实两者差不多重要。我觉得就是如果你了解全球的环境的问题的话，你会发现他们的问题都差不多糟。就是你关心动物这件事情跟关心环境，他们其实是一样的重要，就是因为他们两个是互相牵制的。如果你要关心环境，你不可能不管动物的动物的状况。然后如果你关心动物的话，你也不可能完全忽略环境的议题。这两个是非常紧密的连在一起。But anyway。Thank you for 谢谢 Beatrice 让我采访。其实我只是要来等刺青，意外的就是访问到一个我觉得很重要的东西，这就是 Beatrice， 她是Living by Ink 刺青师的女友，也是 vegan。然后呢希望大家可以多多就是关注他们的社群账号。就是这样，先这样，拜拜。Oh, that was good.